Hi, this is Elena with Black Sheep 303 Creative, and my project today is 2 cards that I made using one die cut. It's the Butterfly Aperture die that you see up there in the upper left from Elizabeth Craft Designs. And there's the die on the right hand side. And I'm going to be using Yupo paper and alcohol inks to create the colored parts of the butterfly. So this is a little 5x7 pad of Yupo paper, which is kind of a plastic synthetic paper, and it works really well with alcohol inks. So I am going to be using Wild Plum, which is that one right there. It's a very bright purple, and then this is Stonewashed, which I think it's Stonewashed. Yeah, that's Stonewashed. It's kind of like a denim-y looking blue, and then I've got a little bit of green, which is Bottle. And then I will have Stream, which is a darker blue. And I'm just dotting these around on the Yupo. And you can see how it spreads and how they kind of flow together and how funky it all is. And then this is some gold Mixative that you do have to shake before you use it to add a little bit of metallic. And then this is blending solution. You'll see how the blending solution pushes the alcohol inks away from each other. And I'm kind of tipping it and tilting it to try to get some blending. But it's so dry right now in Colorado that it's drying pretty instantly on the paper. Like, we have no humidity, so it's really, really dry, and so everything's kind of almost drying right after I stick it down. It spreads a little bit, but not a whole lot. So I take my little felt blending tool here, and I put some blending solution on it, and now I'm just tapping it around on the paper. Now I'm doing this very lightly, and I'm twisting the brush or the blending tool as I go to kind of get different shapes or different patterns as I'm tapping it. And so that kind of helped to blend it together, but then it was almost like too blended. So now I'm going to just add additional droplets and of color and just tap ever so lightly with that brush, or the blending tool, I guess it is, just to soften it the tiniest bit. I did like the sort of splotches of color, so I didn't want to totally lose those altogether. And then I set it aside to dry. And there it is, all dried, and it's super pretty. And my idea here was to turn it into a big sticker and then die cut it out so that when I did the inlay of the inside pieces of the butterfly, they would be super easy to stick down. So I'm adhering this pretty side up onto the adhesive sheet, and I'm going to trim it out. This is an 8.5 by 11 piece of adhesive sheet. And so the sticker is going to be on the bottom of the paper. And then I die cut it. Now, I first did a solid black, and then I did both together to get the detailed black layer. And those are going to be the base for my butterfly. And then I was going to inlay the pieces of the wings with the colored dye after I die cut it out of the Yupo paper here. Now, it didn't work real well. So when I die cut it out, as you see there, a lot of it is still stuck in the alcohol paper, and then some of it's stuck in the dye. That was okay. I mean, I still could pull it apart. And now I'm just adhering the detailed layer with the black to the solid black butterfly. So I have like a base that I'm going to be feeding the like inside pieces down into. Now, I think between the Yupo paper being kind of thick and the adhesive sheet being thick, it didn't want to cut with my die cutter, and that's very unusual. I have a Gemini that normally it's an electric die cutter, and it normally cuts everything in one pass. Like, no matter how detailed it is, it almost always does. This I had to run through like 4 times, and then it still didn't entirely cut 100%. It did a pretty good job, but not great. So I think what I should have done instead, as you know how I like to share my mistakes, what I should have done instead was turn the solid black butterfly into the sticker, like adhesive side up, and then I could have just stuck the detailed layer right down on top of it without having to add the Zig 2A glue pen as you saw me do, and then I could have just fed the inside pieces into it, and then they would have just stuck in place, and I wouldn't have to peel off all the little sticky backing off of all the little tiny pieces, as I did wind up doing with this. So that would have been much, much easier And so if you were going to redo this, I would strongly encourage you to do that instead. Just die cut it out of the Yupo sheet without any adhesive on it, and put the adhesive on the black part instead. And that would have been much easier. But as you can see, it turned out really pretty. Like once I got them all fed into their slots, I thought it was a very pretty butterfly. Now it's a little difficult to see because I know my lighting is not great. So unfortunately, I think it looks much darker in the video than it actually is. But hopefully you get the feel. Well, so then I had these wings left because I decided to die cut those out, you know, the solid piece, and use what was left, the outer edges, without the inside pieces, for wings. So I am peeling off all the adhesive off the back, which again, with the way that die cut out, it was not super easy. So this probably would have been the easier part to use the Zig 2A glue pen on, honestly. And I just adhered this down to a piece of Whisper Blue soft finish cardstock, and then I just cut it out right around the edges of the wings. And then I'm taking the black body from the previously die cut black piece, and I'm using that on with the two wings, and I'm just flipped them over and I'm taping them together, but that's not really providing any support. So I'm going to take a piece of that metallic gold cardstock that you saw me, I had the body on the black butterfly die cut out of that. That is a super heavy duty cardstock, so I'm gonna adhere that. I just cut the strip out. I'm adhering that down to the back of this blue butterfly to provide support between the wings and the body, and it worked like a charm. It's great. It's probably like 200-pound cardstock. It's really heavyweight. So for the base of the cards on these, I'm using these two pieces that I die cut out of the largest rectangle in the Dashing Rectangles die set. And this is Cafe au Lait soft finish cardstock. The white piece is 85-pound white soft finish cardstock. And I will stick these down to two A2 sized white card bases out of 100-pound soft finish cardstock. You won't see me do that, but that is what they wind up on in the end. But right now, what I'm doing is taking some 3mm adhesive tape, and I'm running it right under the little dashed lines that Dashing Rectangles die cuts into the rectangle shape. And then I'm putting glitter on it. So this is Solar Gold Silk Microfine Glitter. I'm just peeling off the backing on the tape, coating it with the glitter, and then I'm just rubbing that glitter down with my finger to really get it onto the tape, and then most importantly, bring out the shine in the glitter, because the glitter is super shiny. And then I will do the exact same thing on the two short edges. So what I wind up with is like a gold glittered rectangle just inside the dashing lines of the die cut, the little detail on the die. And then I do the exact same thing on the white piece, but instead of gold glitter, this time I'm going to use bright grape glitter. And part of what I wanted to show you with this is how by using different colors of cardstock and glitter and embellishments, you can get an entirely different feel with the exact same design of card. So I just used the outside of the butterfly on the white one and the inside of the butterfly die cut on the Cafe au Lait one. But it's the different colors that go along with it that I think really change the look of the cards. So for the sentiment, I'm using Just Because from the Banner Sentiments clear stamp set. I'm stamping it in versafine onyx black ink onto both panels in the exact same place. So the cool thing about the Misty is I can just swap out the cards and stamp it again, and it's in the exact same perfect position, which is very nice and made that super easy. But you can already tell how like the gold in the Cafe au Lait is a lot more subtle than the purple and the white. Now to adhere my butterflies down, I stuck 3mm adhesive tape along the body, and then I put strips of foam tape on either side on the wings to kind of provide support so that the wings would pop up off the background a little bit. And now on this one, I'm using pink and silver glitter dots along with these bright green sequins, and the bright green sequins I'm sticking down with some Ranger Multi-Medium Matte adhesive. And then I'll add additional random shapes in the glitter dots here and there, and that finishes off this card. And then on the Cafe au Lait card, I have the black butterfly, and then I used silver and gold glitter dots, and then some sea spray, which are like a pale blue sequin. And you can see the difference in the feeling of the two different cards just from the differences in the color. Now, obviously, the contrast level between, oh wait, and I did add a black line just on the inside of the gold glitter, which really finished that card off. Like, it made all the difference. It tied the black in very nicely with the black butterfly. But I think the black and the gold is a little more elegant, definitely more subdued than the sort of bright contrast of the purple and white with the blue. Like, that one is very happy. And here's a picture coming up of the black butterfly. I think you can really see how pretty that butterfly actually is here. But you can see how like the card is a little bit mellower than this one, which is a little bit brighter and, I don't know, more spirited, I guess. But they're both very pretty. And I just used one die cut to make them both and just changed up the colors a little bit. So hopefully I've inspired you to try some different color combinations with the same design to see how the feeling changes on the resulting cards. As always, supplies are linked in the video description and over on my blog. Please check out that amazing butterfly die over at Elizabeth Craft Designs. Please leave me a comment. I love hearing from you, and give me a thumbs up if you like the video. And if you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, please do that as well. I would really appreciate it. Thanks so much. Have an amazing day.